You're listening to the Yes, I'm Still Sober podcast with John Rabin. Hello once again, it's the Yes, I'm Still Sober podcast with John Rabin, episode 34, February 13th, 2019. Hello everybody. It's the day before Valentine's Day, and we're here once again. Good luck to everybody tomorrow, I guess. Whatever. Valentine's Day is what it is. And the thing about it is, for me, since I'm dating somebody, obviously we're going to do a thing just to, it's like no pressure because we're both very about Valentine's Day, but we're not anti it. It's funny to me, though, because I've been that way before. I've been very contrary about certain holidays and certain things. Everybody does this. And I don't really understand. I do, like, I've forgotten, I think, why, but I think it's just to be, I'm not, the anti-establishment, the pack. I'm not following the pack with their Valentine's Day bullshit, all the pink and the red and the roses and all that. That ain't me, man. Nobody said it was you. Yeah, but that ain't me. All right, well, you really don't have to follow. You can do. No, I want to make a lot of noise about how Valentine's Day is bullshit. It's made up. The Hallmark Company invented the holiday. You know what? Every holiday is made up. We all made the shit up. Cavemen did not celebrate holidays. We made everything up. So what you're saying is that this is not as genuine as another made-up thing that we based it on an event. Like, it's all just bullshit. Like, look, life is boring and repetitive. That's why we like to celebrate stuff. Nobody told you to dress up like a tree on Arbor Day. It's just a day. It means more to some people than others. You don't have to. My favorite part is, like, we just had the Super Bowl and people felt the need to go, I know there's a big sports ball thing going on. You know what football is. You don't live in a fucking cave. You know what it is. Don't act like you don't. I mean, you don't have to get it. I love football, but I don't care that you don't love football. Some of you love baseball, and I think that shit is boring. I can't stand baseball. But I don't care. I don't pay attention to it. Don't pay attention to it. Yeah, but everybody, no, okay. So, but the problem is this. Then you gotta be the whole anti, I don't know what this Jock-O-Rama, alpha male bullshit day thing. So, but the thing is that you're saying the same thing that 20 other people just posted on social media, and you're doing it like you're being clever, but you're not being clever. You're hack. You're all saying the same joke, and it's not funny, and you said it last year. You're repetitive. You're repetitive and you're hacky. If you can't make it clever, then why are you even posting? What's the point in posting on social media if it's not funny or clever? Can you not go a day without saying something? Do you have to, hey, I exist. Here's a thing that everybody else is saying. You know what? Look around on your feed before you post. Or don't. I'm just saying it sucks. Your social media presence is crap. Oh, shit. Man, do whatever. I don't know. I just wanted to get angry for a second. It's not really. It's just you see so many people saying the same thing, and you're like, Jesus Christ. How dull are you? It's like, man, you guys, some of you guys are way better in person. Man. Anyway, if you're dating somebody, I hope you have a good Valentine's Day. If you're not dating somebody, I hope you find something to do. The end. Like, that's it. It's just a day. Just gives us something to do to get us through a dreary winter. In theory, it's 60 degrees today. It's going to be 70 something tomorrow. It's going to be 80 degrees on Friday. 80 in February in Austin. Gotta love the weather. This is random. I jotted this down just to mention it because I was watching the news on the television like we used to. And they were talking about the clusterfuck that is Virginia politics, but they were talking about the allegations against the lieutenant governor, and I don't care about any of that. What I care about is because I don't live in Virginia, but there's somebody made the statement about due process and how it doesn't, or proving guilt or whatever, that all of that didn't matter because public servants need to be held to a higher standard. And you know what? I was thinking about it. I got to disagree. People say that a lot. Well, it's a public servant, they've got to be held to a higher standard than the rest of us. I don't think so. I think we all need to be held to a standard. That's what standard means. I think we all need to be, I think we all should adhere to a standard in your mind. And if somebody doesn't meet it, let them know. I don't know. I think that's a load of shit. I think that we should treat people the same. I think that everybody should do is the best that they can. And if they can't, I don't know, you can choose to have empathy or not. I don't know. That's just, I don't know if I think that it's just weird. I think it feels hypocritical to sit there and suck in your own life and then accuse somebody else of being shitty when you're just as shitty. It's like, yeah, but I don't have public office. Yeah, but you've got a job. Can't you do your job as good as you wish somebody, a public servant does theirs? I don't know. It just seems hypocritical to me to hold somebody to a higher standard and then do jack shit with yourself. I don't know. I personally don't think I could do that. I think it's called ethics. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, that's an interesting segue into the series that I'm doing right now, because we're in part 2 of the 4 agreements with expletives. So we're going to go into the second agreement now. Okay, so last week, last week the first agreement was be impeccable with your word. We talked about that. By we, I mean me. Technically, I did the talking. But this week, so the second agreement in the 4 agreements is don't take anything personally. Ooh. This is going to be impossible for most people. I think we all take things way more personal than we should. More personally? I don't know. We take things personally, very personal. And the hard thing about that is just because we're so emotional about things. We feel strongly about certain things. We're quick to make opinions. We're quick to give our opinions. But it's, I don't know. We don't discuss enough. So we have a thing. So we get offended easily, and we get offended because we feel something that we don't agree with kind of attacks us. When people say things, we think that they're kind of attacking us, or that it's like I don't know sometimes if I have good self-esteem or if I just have a big ego. It may be both. They may be connected, or maybe it's my ego masking as self-esteem. But yeah, I can take I take things personally a lot. Most recently, a friend of mine, somebody said shit about a friend of mine, and I took it personally, which is funny because it didn't affect me. I wasn't involved, but I thought so highly about him that I immediately was like, "What? How dare you attack a friend of mine? Do you know who I am?" That kind of thing in your head. It's nuts. But also the friendship. But a lot of it's like, you can't do that to me. That's my friend, as opposed to you can't do that to your friend. It's fucked up, but it's the way it is. And the thing about it is that people they're just like you. It's all about them. That's why you don't take things personal. It's because if somebody does something that offends you, or does something to you, or they say shit to you, it's not about you. It's never about you. You're like, no, they said that they don't like me. No, it's about them and everything that they go through, and all, their view of the world and all their experiences and their DNA and everything, who they are. That something about you, pisses them off to where they don't like you. It's not you. It's them. They're just, deflecting to you. They're just using you as an outlet because of something that's fucked up with you, with what's going on with them. And that's why you don't take things personally. And the thing about that, now here's the hard part about not taking things personally, is you have to do it for everything. Not just the whole sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me bullshit, where you just, brush off the negative stuff. Because that's kind of the thing. People are like, I brush off my haters. You need to brush off everybody. That's how, you can't just brush off your haters. You can't just take what people say if it's positive and then not the negative. You have to be in a state of mind. You have to be in a position where you realize that everything that's said to you, whether it's positive or negative, is not about you. So when somebody compliments you and they're like, "You are so awesome," you can't take that personally as you are awesome. Just something going on with you, that there's something going on with them that they think that you're awesome in that moment. It's the same as if they thought you were a piece of shit. It doesn't matter, because it's about them and what's going on in their head. They do this, the book in the Four Agreements has this great analogy about how the reason that it's not about you is because, this other person, like everybody has their own movie where they're the main character and everything revolves around them, and everybody else around them is just secondary characters. And everybody's got their own movie going on. And that's the crazy thing, is that it would be nuts to be able to step out of yourself and go into the movie theater where somebody else's movie is playing, and you can find out exactly what you are in their movie. Like if you think you're a big part of their movie, I got to be one of the co-stars, right? You go in there and you're like a glorified extra. You're like, that's got to be the most painful thing, is if you had like complete awareness of of how everybody thought, and the amount it would be devastating to find out how little people actually think of you, because it's all about It's all about me. And it would really suck to find out how little people think about me. Like, it would just be like, oh my God, they really don't give a shit. I'm a glorified extra. I'm in one scene in this movie. Fuck. I thought I was a featured player. I am not. But that's it. And that's you know, it's trying to keep that perspective is hard, man. It's difficult. Because I want people to think about me. Because I rule. That's what we think. Maybe. That's what I think. I'm like, but I'm great. Sucks. There's another thing he says in the chapter on the second agreement that really kind of brought things home. It was he's basically saying if what I say hurts you, it means that you have wounds that what I said basically re-aggravated those wounds. But what I said didn't hurt you. Like, you weren't healed and then I said something and then you were hurt by those words. It re-aggravated wounds that were already there. And it's essentially, you're hurting yourself and you're basically using me as the reason. Like, I'm your target for why you're hurt. And you have to realize that on the end, you know, as the person saying the words. You come across this with comedy all the time, where somebody gets offended at a joke you tell. And it's all about intent. We seem to be losing sight of that more and more with because of social media and the internet and everything. We just it's all about the words people say and misinterpretation of what people mean. Like, it doesn't matter what the people mean. It matters how they were interpreted to the other people. And that's kind of what we all kind of need to keep that in mind. When we get offended, we need to really take a step back and analyze why we're getting offended, why we're feeling hurt or angry by something somebody just says, and realize, what was their intent? What exactly were they? Context. It's huge. People don't give a shit about context now. It's all about me. It's all about, oh, that hurt me. But did it? Didn't you hurt you? What's going on with you that somebody says something and you disregard why, you know, what they were really trying to say, or the context of the statement, because you didn't actually read or hear the entire thing that was said. You weren't there. So you take one little bit out of context because you subscribe to a shitty news network that's all about clicks and not about truth. Like, what's more important to you? Feeling comfortable without any uneasiness at all, or truth? Most people don't care about the truth because they already know what they feel, and that's true to them. And that's not how you grow, is it? But it's what we do. But that's the thing. Like, if you don't take it personally, because I'm not going to take it personally if people get offended by what I say, because I know what my intent is. My intent is to make a joke. I did not. There are people that intend to offend people. They like to get people riled up. These comics aren't very funny usually. But me personally, I'm not going to get. I don't take it personally, because if somebody gets offended by what I say, it's because that's who they are. They got some kind of shit going on with them. And honestly, I'm not going to change me to make you feel better. That's some shit you got to deal with on your own. And I think people don't want to do that. I think people would rather lash out and get people fired, and I'm going to do something. And by do something, I mean nothing outside of my computer. I'm going to do the bare minimum. You know, it would be nice if people could actually would actually take time to figure out, now, why did that bother me? What is it that's going on with me? And maybe I should resolve that in case I want to continue living and I want to be happy at some point. I don't know. Now, not taking things personally doesn't mean that people can just go about their day and hurting other people, and then there's no consequences for their actions. It doesn't mean just let people get away with stuff necessarily. I don't think that. I think what it is I think it's a difference between justice and reckoning, really. Because if somebody does something that to keep a society going, they need to be punished. But the whole idea is, they get punished and then they can get rehabilitated, or they serve their time and then you leave them alone. Rehabilitation, redemption. You got to give people those options. But you do it, for justice sake. But a lot of the times I think we go after people. We want people caught and punished in more of a reckoning kind of thing. It's all like, you did this to me, and, I'm not going to let you get away with it because you know who the fuck I am? That's a thing that I struggle with. I'm like, do you know who I am? I mean, you're not going to, but I know who I am. And it's not the healthiest thing, walking that line about being all about you, but not all about you, like, I'm great, but it's not all about me. Like, how do I do that? I don't know. I see people, this is as an aside, because I think we covered that, but there's this, I don't know, I see people who get offended or get outraged, actually, is more. Let's go into outrage versus being offended. It's almost the same thing nowadays, but people get outraged in a couple of different ways. Or they react to it. Like, number one, there's you witness somebody's being victimized. And you're outraged for that, and you want to fight for them. I like that one. But the thing is that I don't think that happens as often as we feel like it does. I think that happens, and we should always fight for those who can't fight for themselves. But what happens is, more often, is number two, which is something offends you, makes you outraged. So to justify your feeling that way, you go look for a victim, or you fabricate a victim. Like, if there's not one readily available, like somebody's getting hurt, then it's potentially people could get hurt. Or this is probably bad for somebody that I've never met or that exists, but theoretically, this is hurting theoretical people. And if that doesn't work, then they victimize themselves. That's number three, number three is the, getting offended and then, oh my God, you've hurt me. I'm emotionally damaged by words you've said or things that you want to do that doesn't directly affect me, but I suddenly am made of porcelain, which you're not, but it's just like, oh, I can't handle something that I don't agree with. You victimize yourself because you don't have another victim to fight for. So suddenly somebody's a villain because you got offended. And that's weird. I think that sucks. I think that people really need to focus on what's going on with themselves. That they can't handle an ideology they don't agree with. Because that's really leaning towards fascism, to get rid of stuff that you don't agree with. It's wrong. Is it though? Or is it that you don't agree with it? Is it morally wrong? Depends on what we're talking about, right? Or even if somebody believes something that is morally wrong, their beliefs aren't illegal. You can't force people to not believe something. And yelling at them and trying to get them fired and trying to silence them because they believe something that's stupid instead of showing them that they're stupid doesn't make them stop. It actually strengthens their beliefs when you try to quiet people, because people don't like to be shut up and they don't like to be told what to think. They get mad and they go, fuck you. I know I do. So you got to talk to people. You can't do that. But I wish, that's the thing, is that, you fight for people who are getting hurt. You don't manufacture victims to justify why you feel something's wrong. Be interesting to actually sit there and think about, why do I feel this way? We're getting into cognitive behavioral therapy here, but something happens and you feel a certain way, and then you go, I got to do something, and then you act and do something stupid, do something rash. Like online, you start doxing people, or you start, you start messaging, trying to get people fired. You get in this mob mentality with other people who are just as offended as you. It's like, we got to do something. Yeah, let's get our digital pitchforks. When you should really find out, before you do anything, you should really take a step back and go, why do I feel this way? Why does this jagoff, who doesn't affect my life at all, really, but why does what he says and thinks, why does that make me angry? What is it? What's going on with me, really? Also, it'd be nice to actually look, what is their intent? We're going into a different realm there, but yeah. I just wish we would think there. I don't know. I think people don't talk enough, and we know, that. You see that. It feels like more and more I think people are going, man, people are fucking nuts. Even people I know who used to get outraged all the time, even they're starting to kind of go, man, people are crazy. And I think we're starting to come around to realizing that that's the direction we're going. And I think a big part of that could be helped if we don't take things personally, guys, like the agreement that I've been talking about. I brought it back. So yeah, that's the second agreement in the 4 agreements. And we'll be back next week with the third one. But yeah, I got through with the things that I wanted to say today about that. It's just it's hard. These agreements are really easy to remember. They're very hard to do. But I don't know, they're good goals to have, I think. So, thank you for sticking with this. Thank you for sticking with me, kind of talking things out. You guys have a good week. Stay sober if you're being sober. Every day is a new day, and all those cliches that are annoying, that doesn't mean that they're not true. If you're not sober, have a good week. Stay sane. This is John Rabin. This has been Yes, I'm Still Sober podcast. I'll see you next week. Later.